All right, welcome back to our continuing coverage of the 63rd Annual Big Rock Blue Marlin Tournament. Tommy Bennett again here with you from the Sunbrella Dockside Studio right here at the historic Big Rock Landing on the beautiful Morehead City waterfront. Tabby, we've got to get all that in, and it is a beautiful day. And I'm pleased to be joined again by Tabby Nance, and now that both of us are joined by Gene Huntley. And we're gonna spend a little bit of time talking about the charitable aspects of the Big Rock tournament, and particularly with Gene being a one-time, soon to be a two-time retiree from the Carteret County school system. And of course, everybody knows Tabby. Tabby just recently retired. Tabby, you were the PR director, if I'm not mistaken, for Carteret County Schools. Gene, the tournament has given an awful lot of money to the Carteret County school systems, and I will tell you, we view it as an investment in our community. Tell us a little bit, some of the highlights. You've been with the school system for 42 years, and the tournament has been giving money to the school system for 42 years. Yeah. Talk about some of the highlights for you and how it might have impacted you personally and the school where you were.
Okay. Well, Tommy, you're correct. You all have filled in a lot of gaps for the school system. We get a lot of funding from the local, state, federal, but all of that has special designation, so it's always nice that we can write grants and solicit your support to do those projects that would not necessarily get done. Specifically for me, I am the principal at Carteret Preschool Center, and that center is very special with a lot of special children that have specific needs on the playground. And we look at our playground as an outdoor classroom. So the Big Rock actually funded about $42,000, I think, to make that what we call our therapeutic classroom. So it's now completely handicap accessible. We have communication boards for our students who are not talking yet, that they can show us what they want to do. And for many of our students, that is the first time of their interaction with peers, because they can now do anything and everything the other kids do by having that accessible. So
let's look at a little history there too. The Carteret Preschool Center has I guess it's housed in the location that for years was known as the Newport Developmental Center.
Right.
And when I said that the tournament has been giving money, it's been a supporter of what was then the Newport Developmental Center for many, many years. That the theme of the tournament used to always be for the love of special children, mm-hmm. and that was the theme when I came on the board 30 mm-hmm. plus odd years ago, and it's really stuck with me. Is a lot of what the tournament does is geared towards children.
Yes.
And I appreciate what you say. I'm a resident of Carteret County. I pay taxes here, and I'm proud of our school system. Mm-hmm. We've got one of the best school systems in the state of North Carolina, hands down, bar none. And you think, but from the tournament looks at it and says, we've got a well-funded system, but if we could give that Carteret Preschool that $41,000 so they could have the very best outdoor playground,
right?
That just means an awful lot to the tournament, to the board, and I think that resonates with the people who buy T-shirts at our store and things of that nature. So Tabby, let's talk about maybe some other things. One of my favorite things was and we talked about this just a second ago, was the tournament bought uniforms for the entire East Carteret High School band.
And there is money allocated for some of those things, but you all stepped it up. So you've done band uniforms, you've done bleachers, you've done all kinds of special programs. And one example I'd like to share is you remember 2 years ago you helped us with Hurricane Florence in many ways, but then you helped us bring the Ocracoke students, our neighboring Hyde County children, the high schoolers and middle schoolers over here.
Yeah, tell us how that developed. What was the genesis behind that?
Well, there was a group at East Carteret High School of parents, and they said some of their children played ball with the Ocracoke kids, and they were concerned because when this was Hurricane Dorian. I'm sorry, not Florence, Dorian. When the hurricane went through there, it just devastated Ocracoke after Dorian. So they asked if they could come over and we needed to have funding to do that, and the funding actually provided the ride over when the ferry was taken care of by the state. We had housing provided for them at Camp Albemarle, but you all stepped in and helped us send home every child with 3 new sets of clothing, 3 new pairs of shoes. They were able to go shopping and get essentials that they didn't have. They all went home with clean linens, fresh pillows, bags, and you all fed them at our restaurants. We fed them every day, every morning, and they were here for 4 days.
Yeah. So what happened was the school was devastated by
the whole
the
community
hurricane.
of Dorian.
And but specifically the school, and none of the children could get together. You know, they're used to seeing each other every day. You think about it, and now they're all. They can't do what they normally do. So I think it was the way we talked about it was just a way to let them all get back together, kind of take a break from some storm cleanup, and just be high school student, be kids again. Yeah,
they
so that was
ball
great.
At East.
They did. I went over there. They were playing basketball, and everybody was just having a great time.
And those type things. But
just
that
having a
kind of
great time.
funding would not have been. You all just stepped right in because we needed it quick. And you all stepped right in and did that.
Yeah, easy decision to make.
And you all used the Carteret County Public School Foundation to make that donation, and then we were able to use your money, 100% of it, straight to the need.
Yeah, another thing, you're talking about playing ball. One of the things that I remember we did a couple years ago was we helped replace, not refinish, but replace the gymnasium floor at the Moorhead Middle School.
Yeah.
Now I'm an old guy, and my son, who's now a young man, young father in town, went to school at Moorhead Middle School, and that floor was still there after I don't know 25 or 30 years. It was falling apart, and I know Adam Olander called and said, hey Tommy, if y'all could help us replace this, it would be great. So we put it all together. It was a matching grant. The school and the parents and their friends, and the friends of the school stepped up. We replaced the floor of the gymnasium. It was really great. Gene, all this talking, I know you can think of something else that we've done.
Well, I would like to
some
mention
of the meaningful things.
That your gifts keep on giving, and you don't ever know when they're really going to rise to the occasion over and above whatever you imagined. And an example of that was you all put in about $50,000 in the Hill Center, which is a special reading program for children that have difficulty learning to read. It's been a very popular program, but it costs iPads and training and that sort of thing, and we were kind of running aground with some of that. And you all stepped in and bought those iPads. Little did we know at that time about the pandemic, but they were ahead of their time, because when we went to online learning, we were online with our Hill instruction in the homes of these children, and those children made the greatest reading gains of any children in the system. So that's something we never predicted, but we were geared up because of the big rock.
How about that? Well, we it's great to hear those kinds of stories, and I wish we could hear some more of them. I know that they happen, but sometimes people just forget to say, hey, Tommy, pass this along to the board. So I'm definitely going to pass that one along. That's great. And I remember when all that happened. It was that was a big investment.
It was.
And I think that's a great word too. We had a check presentation with the new superintendent recently, and he said a few things that were obviously very complimentary about the tournament, but he used the word investment. That the money that the tournament gives not only to the Carteret County school system, but for the benefit of other young people in Moorhead City, Carteret County, and Eastern North Carolina. It's an investment, and I think it's one of the things that makes Carteret County the very special place that it is. So
and I tell you, when folks come to my school at CPC, I take them straight to the playground, but the universal message there is this is a community event and a community support. And people are amazed at how you all have done that. And so we don't ever think of not giving you your praises, but know that really it's your heart that was there when you gave it.
Thank you very much
The
for
whole
those
board
kind
has a
words.
heart.
Yeah.
Really.
It's we talk about it. I say that all the time. We do obviously a lot of talking, but there's a meeting at the end of the year when we go through all the charity requests, and you start granting. It's like you're granting somebody's wish, and it's every bit as exciting as anything else we do in the rest of the year, because you get to see all of your hard volunteer work come to fruition. Excuse me. All right, well, ladies, again, it's been our great pleasure to have you, and Jean, it's great to hear wonderful reports from the Carteret Preschool Center, and of course, we wish you the very best.
I can't wait to try it out.
In your second retirement, you're going to try it again.
I only tried it for a few weeks the last time, so maybe this one will be successful and stick.
Good for you. Well,
but I just have to thank you and the board for all you've done.
I will pass that along. You are more than welcome. We do it because we love to do it. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it shows.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this segment here on Big Rock TV. Stay with us for the rest of the afternoon, as day one of the 63rd annual Big Rock Tournament is just starting to heat up here at Big Rock Landing on the Morehead City waterfront. Stay with us.